wait though, instead of just walk up like, hey man,
as
you know who I am?
TV. Kyle Goddard says, I know it's Benny Hill, was waiting for someone to respond. All right, guys. Hey, we appreciate you tuning in and watching the show. Be sure to check out Andy's after show right after we're finished, and I'll see you guys on the next episode of UnMasked. Thanks
a lot, guys.
Have a good night.
And a lot of products on their way in 2025, and there were some they didn't even show. I can't wait, and I know a lot of you guys have been asking about it. And man, Solo X enclosures, you had me on that, but then all the other stuff, LX amplifiers, the rebirth of the KX line, I'm excited. But without further ado, everybody that's hanging out, love you guys, but we gotta do the intro. It's just not the same without the intro. And yes, 3 live streams today, 2 that I'm on. Let's kick it off.
So we're kicking it with Andy, right? You know what that means. We living loud.
Livin Loud with Andy.
Yeah, we had some behind-the-scenes stuff on the UnMasked show. New stuff coming in SEMA 2024, soon to be 2025 products that are on their way. And man, everything that they got in the works, you guys got to see tonight. And I thought that show was going to go a lot longer than it did. He did a good job trying to literally cover everything and, kind of wrap everything up. And, I'm excited to hear about the LX line of amplifiers. It's pretty much the KX or KXA line of amplifiers reborn. And I love the KXA line just because, it's nice. It's like the Q class when they had that, but more power available. With the 2400, now they have a 3000. So that is in itself enough power for an L7X, a Comp Q, a pair of them. More power is never a bad thing. Am I right? So I got a few things to talk about. Of course, the L7X enclosures, my behind the scene stuff that you guys didn't even see, and I can finally talk about it now. And just what your Tuesday, how it's going. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I actually did a live stream with DJ Dirty Bass and Kaluna earlier at like 6 o'clock Eastern. Then we had the UnMasked show, and now this, man. I'm built for this stuff. I'm good. But I knew today was going to be insane. Thank you for tuning in, Garrett. Kind of how I feel. Back-to-back doctor appointments. Tell me about it, man. It's like you never get a break, and you do got to look at it, Adrian. You just got to look at it. Appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate all you guys here. And Basshead 30, as always. William, thank you for liking on Facebook. You guys are awesome, man. 39 of you guys, 40 in YouTube. You guys are crazy, and we're at 8,693 subscribers. I don't know if we'll hit 8,700, but who knows, man? Who knows? Let's see. Of course, we got Shoot Dog in here. All right, cool. El Fuego, we got to throw it up. The new KICKER LX line of amplifiers looks impressive with mono blocks to 3K with a 4-channel, 5-channel, and a 7-channel. Wow. I love that they came out with a 7-channel because with my quad box build, it's kind of like, man, I wish I had a full front stage and more channels than just a 4-channel. And then instead of running 2 4-channel amplifiers, all I need is this, 2 more channels. So boom, having 7 channels, 1 subwoofer, 6 for your mids and highs, for your rear fill, your front, and your tweeters, your mid, all that fun stuff, and have separation with that all built into one. It's kind of been, a thing that they've been working on. They listen to you guys, they take and they reject, and then they build and create a 7.1 channel. And everything else, man. I'm excited. Thank you for tuning in, El Fuego. Appreciate all that you've done over the years and you continue to do, and for being here tonight. And I'm excited with you, buddy. I'm excited with you. I'm ready to retire the KXA off of the L7X in Kayla's car and put it on an LX 3000.1 just because I liked what the KXA did and how it sounded. Just, personal preference. And to have the new amp, and 3000 watts is kind of perfect on a L7X12 or 15 or 10. Mr. Pacific Northwest, you know it. You know the name. Appreciate you, Garrick, man. Let's see here. I just want to do some housekeeping before we start showing off everything else, because they talked about literally everything, but I got a few things here too, plus something I've really been wanting to show you guys. Thank you for tuning in, Fago, Niplash. Appreciate you tuning back in again, and would you just look at it? You just got to look at it, and especially tonight, we were looking at it. Thank you for tuning in, Dobby. Jason, WW2000, thank you for hanging out. I'm a little confused with the LX Amps DSP. Is it just crossovers and time delay, no EQ? Is it only controlled through that controller, no laptop? Well, I'm not 100% sure on it because I have not seen it. I've seen about as much as you have, but whenever I said, it really reminds me of the SX amplifiers, I think it's dead on point with that. And with the DSP, if you want to call it that, with what the KXA line had, I don't think it's going to be an app controlled or laptop controlled like the Q class, but I might be entirely wrong, because that was awesome that they had with the Q class. You could adjust all your crossovers and your equalization in the app or on the computer, and then you could lock it so no one could adjust everything. So maybe it is the same thing as that, and instead of it being app controlled or on a computer, it's all in that little remote, which the SX amplifiers also had and the Q class did not. So I don't know exactly which one they did, if they do have it or not, but either way, I'm excited to see it, man. Thank you for tuning in, man. Appreciate you, sir. Andy was waiting for the LX8 and 18 reveal. Man, I knew it wasn't going to happen. I'm like, if it doesn't happen, it's not, no, not yet. It's coming, but, not yet. Not yet, Kyle. Thank you for being here, Choke Change. How is it, Andy? Hope I stay for the whole stream this time. And I won't keep it too long. It's been a long day, but we got a lot to talk about. And if I can fit it within the hour, that would be great. If it's shorter or longer, we'll do that too. But I'm a little tired, not gonna lie. Whole hour live stream at 6 o'clock, and that was great, man. I love getting on other YouTube channels, live streams, because it's what I do. It's really what I do. Yeah, I'm in car audio, but I do the live streams, man. It was a fun time, and those are some awesome guys. Matthew Davis, Solo X Box Dimensions. I was going to ask them about that, because here, we might as well pull them up. What is this Solo X box dimension that you're talking about? Well, that's this guy right here. They have brand new L7X enclosures for the single 12 and the dual 12. And it literally looks just like a quad box. And I'm gonna take my honest opinion guess. It's probably literally almost the same dimensions as the quad box, because just look at it. It looks almost similar to the quad box. Just has two speakers, and I'm sure it's, dialed in a little bit different with the port and everything else. So there is that. Now, and that is, I think it's around 32 by like 34 inches, and it's like 19 inches tall. So I'm not 1,000% on that box, but it's probably going to be around those numbers, because the KICKER L7X12 recommends, 3 cubes plus port. And the KICKER quad box is around 8 cubes, give or take. Oh, would you look at that? It was so funny. I was getting that going. During the other stream, you guys were super chatting. I'm like, yeah, that's my subwoofer flexing from super chats.
This is what makes time travel possible. The flux capacitor.
Flux capacitor.
And they definitely took a look at it. Thank you, Cameron Cole. Mr. Solo X in the house. Couldn't miss this one. And I love talking about the Solo X. I mean, that's what got me really into KICKER. I had just the L712. It didn't entirely sell me. I didn't know what I was doing. It was in a sealed box, very small, and that's all I did with it. And then I got the 18, and I'm like, whoa, this thing looks awesome, and it's loud, and it's an 18, and it's square. It got me hooked, line, and sinker. And anything else 7X or Solo X family, as Mr. Kiplitzy would always say, excites me, because that's just what the 1%ers that are on Facebook and bass heads on a budget, the people that are trying to do 150s, trying to go to these shows, watching these podcasts, they want to see more of this big bass stuff, and that's exactly what that field is, man. Thank you so much. And that's why it was driving me crazy Friday, because it threw me off. I'm like, I can't talk about anything. I need to talk about all of this, because people buy the L7X12s, 10s, 12s, 15s, whatever, and you are forced to build your own box. And that's fine, because it's a big SPL kind of demo driver. It thing weighs 60, 70 pounds. You should build your own box. Well, KICKER's doing that for you now, and they're going to be supplying, I wouldn't even call them prefabs. They're prefabricated because they're made from a company, I guess you could call it that, but custom enclosures for the L7X of one design. It's designed like how the quad box is, without limitation of space. It's like, if it don't fit in your car, this is all you got. Thank you, DJ Dirty Bass just subscribed. Would you look at that? He took a look at it.
Another cool pick
would you just look at it?
And look at that.
Just look at that. You got to look at it. And thank you, DJ. Thank you, Zach, again, man, for bringing me on your show tonight. And that was a blast. If you guys haven't seen it, it's on this channel here and on his channel, DJ Dirty Bass. And every Tuesday, isn't that funny? Every Tuesday, he gives out a 20% discount code. If you want to buy one of his USB tracks for Rebass music, go check him out. And again, Cameron, appreciate you. All 48 of you guys in here tonight. Love you. And I knew you guys would be tuning in because I'm like, man, L7X Enclosure. I am excited. All right, live from the Kicker Cave. You know it. You know it. Oh, look at that. Is that L7X's and Cookie Monster? That's what it looks like. You're right. They have said they're not doing a DSP. Yeah, I know a lot of people are wanting a standalone DSP. There's been a lot of winks. And with people saying they wanted a KXA amp again or like, bring it back. Well, it's here. And Kicker listens. And I feel like that is a product that people are going to buy and they're going to make. That's just my opinion on it. It's not fact. Could be fiction. I don't know. The standalone key DSP is still in the works. El Fuego's source, he's above Ernie in there somewhere. It might be Steve himself. I have no idea, but I wouldn't be surprised. Travis Willis, thank you for tuning in. My volts dropped to 8.2 on a 3,000 watt amp. What would be your next upgrade? Woo! Extra battery. I have a big 3 done already. Man, that sounded like Kyle Clippo with all his L7Xs in his car and Warhorses. And I think he's got 16 of those sodium 50 amp hour batteries and like 1 or 2 alternators. So he's clamping 20, 30, 40,000 watts. And he's dropping down into that eventually. Not healthy in long term, but if you're playing it, okay, you should be all right. Don't do that. But you want to keep your voltage at least above the 12 volt range. And I feel like where you're hurting the worst in just that situation would be a battery. And always next step is the alternator because that kind of stays with the car. Thank you, Travis. And yeah, definitely an extra battery. If you could just get like a Group 31 AGM, slap it in the back there, and you'll see the voltage will be better just from that alone. Because lithium's always that next step. Thanks for all your info and you looked my photo on Kicker Club. I had 4 L7 Blue Stitch. That's awesome, man. And Kicker Club is awesome. We just hit, that's what I got Build of the Week back here. We just hit 66,000 members in Kicker Club. It's growing fast. Poor Wade in the background's accepting all the requests. Thank you, Wade. And thank you, everybody, for being in Kicker Club on Facebook. Let's see. They mentioned you, Bob. I didn't get mad. Kyle, too bad the L7X18 isn't out already. If I could just get one before Slamology, just like 3 days before I leave, that would be, I'm fine with that. I am fine with that. El Fuego, a $150 doable with 2 Solo X12s in a box, run off 2 Warhorse 3600.1s. I think so. In Kayla's car, it's doing a 48.5 on, what was it? I think it was 2,900 or 3,000 watts clamped. And that was on the Warhorse brand new one at half ohm. On the KXA 2400 at half ohm, I'm clamping 2400 watts, and it's doing a 47.5, 47.6 on a single 12. So the math is mathing. It's definitely doable with that, and there's a lot of factors, of course. But yeah, 1,000%. You can always dial it in a little bit different to be louder in that vehicle and maybe not play as low. Thank you for tuning in, El Fuego, and the road to 150 is real. No. Yes, sir. Code Bass Drop. That is the code if you want 20% off every Tuesday. I love Tuesdays. Tuesdays, Fridays, and I know Garrick loves Tuesdays, Fridays. Thanks for the shout out on TikTok, man. I try to look at everything. I really do, and that's why I get nothing done. Let's see. I meant they have said it. What did I forget what I was talking about 5 seconds ago? Yes, the Christian rebass music, man. It's a niche that is needed, man. It is needed. Thank you for tuning in, Uncle Bobby B. You know what I'm doing.
Uncle Bobby B, baby. Uncle Bobby B.
Thank you for being here, Uncle Bobby B. Always tuning in. All 56 of you guys. 27 likes. Come on, man. You gotta hit the like.
Just hit the like.
Just hit the like. Just hit the like. I love it. Dave, I hope you're doing well wherever you're at, man. And Dad is here. Hello, SDK Enclosures. Appreciate you tuning in. And Sean Lynn. Okay, cool. So more stuff with Kicker. Now with the L7X, I know I had another screenshot of this, but for some reason I just got Juan's here. And Juan, you know what? Is this gonna... I gotta zoom in. We can do that. Juan Mendoza. This guy, another guy on Kicker Club, always posting stuff. And just, I appreciate what he does in that group as well, man. You know, just sharing the Kicker love. And he shared this, and this is the little diagnoses of what that LX amplifier power is going to do. And I'm glad I had all this, you know, because you can't get everything in one live show. So with the L7X, I keep wanting to say that, the LX amplifier, the 3000.1, and that's at 1 ohm, okay? 1650.1, the 1250.1, the 850.1, the 500.4, the 1200.5, and the 1300.7. Now, they have other listings there for the actual power of RMS for the 4-channel, 5-channel, and 7-channel, so it's a little bit different. And then 700 watts RMS on the sub-channel of the 5 and 7 channel LX. God, I keep wanting to say L7X. It just rolls right off the tongue. But still, tons of power. If you want to screenshot that, just take a look at it. And, of course, it comes with the bass remote and everything else alongside that. We're a little zoomed in here, but that's all right. Now, one thing they didn't talk about, and I'm talking about it. I'm talking about it. They got grill covers. They got Kicker grill covers. Those would be perfect for the Q class, L7S, and they do also have round ones as well. And I know this is a small thing, but they were gone for a while. Here's the round ones here. Take a look at that. I think that's cool because the other ones were very aggressive looking, which I like. I love those ones. But these ones right here, I feel like when you got kids, you almost need something that is that, you know what I mean, dense. So it's actually really protecting your speaker from maybe things in your car, an umbrella just goes through. I like that they did that on that. Now, of course, they talked about the CVT here, the CVT. Brand new. I like how it looks like just the red line series of the Kicker speakers. You know, it just looks good. And I know some people say they don't like the CVT. I don't know. I've never had one. I need to put that on my bucket list, so I need to pull that down first there. Come on, Ernie. You got to keep with it here. You got to keep with it. Another one they didn't mention here from tonight was the dual L7T downfired enclosure. Would you just look at that? I know people love the downfired enclosures. They're my favorite. I really like them for when you got a lot of, like, not a lot of space, but you want a lot of space and you still want bass. So now instead of just getting to 12 with a passive radiator, you know, to get more, you can try that. You know, it's like literally 2 drivers. So that's cool that that's coming out. And I mean, there's a lot of things. They talked about a lot of the marine stuff tonight, which was, you know, all this stuff here. And I don't have the newest ones, obviously, but still, the KM speakers that I have, where it's like literally a mid-bass driver and then the tweeter is hovering over it in a tweeter bridge. I think that's what we're calling it nowadays. Anyway, there it is without the tweeter in there, and it's like a full driver. And that thing looks beefy. I really like that. And then this, I was trying to figure out what the heck this was. So it's for the RGBYW for white lights for whenever you have like a Kicker Marine setup or something like that with the LED kits. And they have the wires. It's one wire, but it's got, you know, every single other one inside. So it's just one big connection going front to back for all that kind of fancy stuff, man. Now, let's see. Okay, the giveaway. I don't know if you guys seen it. This is just something on the side here. They are giving this away on Makita website. The whole golf cart with the entire Kicker system. They are giving this thing away. And all you have to do is scan that code right there, and it takes you to their website. Pause it, rewind it, scan that code, go enter to get that. I mean, that's awesome. I know they have a Makita display in the museum at Kicker as well with the L7S's and a tool bench. Like, they've been dealing with Makita for a while, and I'm gonna have to get some Makita tools. And of course, okay, cool. So one other thing I wanted to show before I get to the behind the scenes stuff is what Jacob Lucky had here. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it too well. I was trying to screenshot it, but what that is literally a terminal box, but for your outside of your speaker, like a Steve Mead design kind of one where, you know, you build your enclosure, you cut it out, you know, and then you hook up your coil 1, coil 2, whatever. Kicker has that now separately available. Well, it's coming. All these things are coming in 2025. So I think that's cool. You know, it's like Steve Irby reminds me, you know, otherwise not a failed, you know, dinosaur park, but Jurassic Park, you know, John, spare no detail, spare no expense, always thinking about the consumer. And that's cool. I like how they're doing that. You know, it's more for the big bass head kind of build stuff. All right. So now this one right here is technically not, well, here, I'm just going to show you. All right, take a look at this. Oh, we need volume. All right, we got no volume, but that's okay. I got to hear that enclosure 2 years ago. Now, it looks a little bit different than the one that they have now, but that is, quote, I don't know what they're calling it. I don't think they're calling it the King Box. I'm calling it the King Box just because, and this one had plexi, it was all extra fancy. But like, I was like, oh my goodness, it looks like a quad box. And they did it. It's no plexiglass. You know, it's like, not everybody needs the plexiglass, but, you know, I don't know what other things they could change, other sizes they're going to have. But for two L7X12s in a box that looks like the quad box, and I love the quad box, I know they did right on that thing, man. And, course, we got some prototype action here, you know, Warhorse WXA 3600. You know, that's what I heard the first year I went down to Kicker and just got to, you know, get in here, get a demo of that thing. And I'm just excited that they're doing this for you guys. You know, it doesn't come with the loaded subwoofers inside. Those are sold separately like batteries, but you kind of get what I'm saying where, you know, good stuff coming. They make it for you so you can buy it all together at one place, one time. You don't have to call SDK, but you can. You can call SDK. He's got these right now if you don't want to wait. Solo X enclosures. But of course, you know, it's nice that Kicker's doing that, you know, because it kind of threw me on a limb. I'm like, well, how do I do this for people? Like, I'm going to have to be like, oh, you got to get a custom box done, you know, and not everybody knows how to do that. So it's cool that they're making that available for everybody. Thank you all 50 people that have watched this so far. You guys are awesome. And let me start answering some questions here. So if you got any questions about anything that I talked about, drop it down below. Joe Player, thank you for tuning in, man. Do you know how much the Solo X subwoofer box are going to cost? You know, that's a very good question. I was talking to it about my wife today. I was like, well, I know whenever you buy the preloaded enclosures from Kicker, you're only paying like $50 for like a beautiful carpeted box, you know, like you're not paying much for the enclosure to get the loaded enclosure. So I don't know if it's going to be exactly like that price per box, you know, but if I were to guess, you know, like the single 12 is probably going to be in the $200 range. And I know that sounds like a lot. Okay. You can go on Amazon and buy a prefab that's probably way too small, the port's way too small, and it's going to limit the performance. Not that it's going to sound inherently bad and awful, it's just going to limit a lot of the performance. Just like Nate's, we did that Comp Q, but that it sounds good, but it's limiting some of the performance, especially the low notes being tuned to 38 hertz. You know what happens below 40. You got to get them kickers playing down there sometimes. And, you know, with the quad box one, you're probably around 300. That's just my guess. That's an educated guess. It could be lower. It could be higher. I'm not 1,000% sure. They might even do it as a bundle, but it would have to be shipped separately. That's the thing. And I don't know if they're going to do that. I don't know if they're going to do that because shipping is the name of the game when it comes to all this big stuff. You know, quad box, yeah, but 2L7X is probably way more than 4L7Rs. Thank you, Jake, for the $2 super chat, throwing out the pennies. Thank you, Joe Player, again, man. I can't handle any more workflow. Oh, you know they're coming. Check them out at SDK Enclosures. You know you can handle it. It's a good problem, Jake. It's a good problem. If you're not already following SDK on Facebook, go check them out. SDK Enclosures. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you for the pennies. And yeah, less gaming, more box building. Get it done for the kickers. We need it. Come on, Jake. Come on. Every dollar being saved up to buy my upgraded kicker installation. And that's the thing, man. Save your money and spend it on the good stuff. Spend it on the good stuff. Get more people. I can't. Even at $350, the pre-built L7X box is a steal. Right. You know, and that's the thing, man. These are full birch. They're not just laminated veneer birch with layers of pressed wood. These are real birch with real bracing inside. I don't know if you've ever seen the inside of a quad box, but it's pretty inside. It literally has the shape of, like, you know, the kicker, like the star looking thing. Inside is bracing, and it's just it's clean, man. And I'm excited that you guys be able to get these, and they're still right. It's costs money, but at the end of the day, man, it's if you go and pay somebody to design you a box, build it, and carpet it, and we're not even talking about stitching, but you don't need stitching. You're talking $500, $600, $700, $800, $900, man. I'm telling you. I am telling you, unless you're getting a homie hookup for $300, because labor itself, or not even labor, just utility, like the wood, birch, is pretty expensive, man. You're talking $100 a sheet, 4x8, and you probably need 2 of them. Let's see here. So you're not really making too much. You got to make some money. Uh-oh. And that's the thing. You can't cry about money when you want sound quality, and there's always going to be the guy that can do it cheaper, but at what cost of performance is always a variable that they just overlook sometimes. It happens. Joe Player, I'm just trying to think of what I want to upgrade to. I have an XO12 right now. I'm getting 145 dB. I want something more, and Sundown seems too pricey. That's why I was looking at L7X. And now I'm saying LX. Oh, God. 15 or 12. I don't know what the XO is. Is that like an EXO sub? But either way, you know, I think they're pretty close to the same, you know, price, but you know, if you're just getting a single sub, like you're getting a single 12 or a single 15, you know, I like Sundown. They work. But I feel like when you have a single sub and it's not packed in a big wall or something like that with a lot of power, you know, Kicker's going to outshine in that category just because you got more cone area. And I think they're a little bit more efficient. I'm just putting it out there. I think they're a little bit more, they don't need as much power. Now, can the Sundown maybe take more power? Probably. Is it also going to need more power? Probably. Is it going to need a smaller enclosure? Probably. You know, and whenever you're going up those factors, it's kind of like you're trying to build pressure in your car, and the best way to do that is bore and stroke, man. Bore and stroke. Thank you so much, Joe Player. Appreciate you tuning in, and I love the L7X15, man. It looks nice. It's beefy. Saving up money. Drowning in work. I want a week to breathe without being forced to take. Oh no, the COVID will get you, man. It will get you. Man, you know, sometimes you need a break. This whole weekend, I played video games for about 3 hours each day. It felt great. I needed it. Sometimes you need that release, man. Garrick, I'm saving up money for my lithium battery banks in boot camps ultra caps. Absolutely, man. And you know, it's another thing where it's like, just like you don't want to pay too much for an enclosure. You know, if you want to get quality, you got to pay. You got to pay to get a foundation, and the foundation is your electrical in your vehicle. Chris, thank you for tuning in, man. What's happening? Jake, don't want to work. Send me the work. You know what? That's not a bad idea. I know Chris, man, he does not let up. I've never seen him play a video game. I love you, Jake. I've never seen him play a video game, and all I see him doing is working on them. That's all I'm seeing. That's all I'm seeing. Jake's like, you know what, Andy, I'm gonna kick his butt. Thank you for tuning in, Wade. LX 3000.1 on 2 Kicker Comp Q15s should get it done, and I think that's not everything, you know, like the KXA 2400 was a lot of power, but again, it's like, you know, you could always use more. You know how these people are nowadays. They want more power. And if you play it, you know, responsibly, You can have all the power on tap, man. It's just how much you're letting in and how loud that can get and how well it can dissipate that heat is the name of the game. But absolutely, it would be perfect on 2 Kicker Comp Qs. And I still got my 12 over here. It's still sitting here. And I can't wait to throw that in there and do some SPL tests with it and just kind of listen to it even more. Thank you, Ryan Moore, for subscribing. Would you look at that? I don't know where my fancy look at that with. I had it on here and I think I moved it. Yeah, I think I moved it. You know, it's just like bringing it on to guess. I only got so many switchers on the switchboard here. And, let's see. Oh, no. Where'd it go? I mean, we do got the extra.
Would you look at that? Would you look at that? Another freaking, what, a solo barrack?
Thank you for subscribing, Ryan. And, yeah, you just got to look at them. You got to look at them. We got 61 people. If you didn't see what I showed earlier, let me know, and I will show anything you'll want to see with the L7X enclosures, the LX amplifiers, you name it, because I know a lot of people are going to see that thumbnail, take a look at it, and they're going to be like, would you just look at that? Let's see. I like Sundown for the loudness, but there's something to be said about a good sounding subwoofer, and I feel like every woofer has its place. It 1000% does, and you gotta look at them. You gotta look at them. And of course, we got Kibo dropping by to hit the like. Appreciate you for hitting the like. Now we're up to 36 likes. 56 of you guys that are tuned in. You guys are awesome. And Cornut, man, even Cornut was stealing the caboose on the first live stream on another channel. I guess it was this channel, huh?
Cornut. He does traveling installs.
Thank you, Cornut. Appreciate you for all that you do. And thank you for gifting the membership, man.
Bass hitting hard. Yeah, yeah. Turn down for what? Okay. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Love it. Appreciate you, Cornut. And, man, the L7X enclosure. I just can't stop looking at them. Like, there's that bracing that I was talking about inside there. See that bracing? That is neat. And, you know, it's just like not sparing any details on these things, man. And there's the kerf port right there. And I know someone was asking me if it was an airport. I think it was Kelowna. And, yeah, it's got the curved arrow port on the new Solo X enclosures. And, I mean, the curve port on the quad box enclosure just looks awesome as well. Let's see. Is it this one? See, you can't see it over here. They did have it on there. I had it on my picture, but you can kind of see without getting a... Let's get a curve, not a crotch. Okay. Yeah, you can see down there. Yeah, just look at that. It's curved, just like the quad box, man. Thing is beautiful. The LX amplifier, I didn't even show it. I forgot to show it. I just showed the numbers. We didn't even freaking look at it. Look at that. That thing is beautiful looking. It's still got the red line, you know, for like the KXA kind of like, you know, nod. And then this over here is something that Ashy's going to buy 5 of before they get discontinued in 10 years. So he can collect and hoard them all. But that is... I guess like the controller of all your adjustments of the amplifier. That's what that's going to do right there. And I know they were saying about it's going to kind of show voltage and show gain of the subwoofer. I don't know if it's going to show all the crossover stuff, but it still gives you more control than you normally would have with any other, you know, amplifier. And it's probably wired. It's probably not wireless. And it does, I think it has a separate bass knob as well. Like, that's not the bass knob. That's something else that you mount in the front of the car, and you have control of your crossovers, probably for like the 4, 5, and 7 channel of the LX amplifiers. That's where that's more needed. But it's still exactly, well, it's a mess over here. The SX amplifiers over here, come on, keep going. Come on, Ernie. Sorry, I'm messing with batteries. Of course I'm messing with batteries. It's kind of like these. These had a display, though, on the SX amplifiers. And then they had a separate remote that looked exactly like that display. You can see that one. Well, you can't see that one. But you get what I'm saying. And that subwoofer started flexing in here before the one on the screen. It's perfect. We don't even need the one on the screen, but I do like it. I like, just kickers flexing. Got an L7X over here. Got an L7S over here.
I got pennies.
Now, for L7X15's kicker box, that would be pretty big. I think they recommend, what is it, like 5.5 cubic feet or 5 cubic feet for the L7X15. So you're talking 20 cubes. That's 2 Cookie Monsters, bro. That is a lot of bass and a lot of space to be needed. But you could do it. You could absolutely do it. Probably like 48 by, I don't know, 86, I don't know, by 24. You could get it. You could definitely get it. But thank you, Garrick. Appreciate you for the pennies. And thank you for always tuning in, man. I appreciate you more than you know. Kibo says, yes, Solo X prefabs. I know, isn't that crazy? Like, I just need to leave this, like, in the top corner of, like, the videos somehow. I'd have to move some things. But, you get what I'm saying. Like, that is incredible that they have that, and I'm so excited, man. Literally, single and dual. I want the single, or maybe the dual, but I need another L7X. I mean, even to try that, I need that. Maybe we could put it up against Jake's box. I don't know. It might not fit. It might not fit. That's more for, like, not an Eclipse with a tiny hatchback that needs to be under 13 inches tall, which is, it's kind of really tight on every 212 enclosure. Let me tell you, the 212 prefab from Kicker does not fit in our trunk. It's just so shallow. That's the problem. But a lot of sedans are at least 14, 15, 15 and a half inch opening, and you could slide it right through there. So that's probably what they did, around 13, give or take. Well, actually, you can look at it. Well, let me see. Let's take a look at it. All right, so we know the cutout's like, oh my goodness, slow down there, Magoo. We know the cutout's around 11 inches. So we got about 1.5 inches on each side. So I would say at least, what's that, 12, yeah, 14 inches. 14 inches tall, and that should slide in most vehicles. And now the quad box one, I mean, we can look it up, the exact measurements of the Kicker quad box. Let me take a look here. Speed dial, Kicker, boom, there we go. Cool. Let's go to the car audio section here. We're going to look up loaded enclosures. They're going to have a whole separate section, though. It's going to have to say, like, unloaded enclosures instead of loaded, And, yeah, the quad box right here. And I don't know if it's exactly the same dimensions. Oh, it's on sale. $14.99. Used to be higher than that, I swear. I swear it was $17.99. And the dimensions are 28... 35 by 20. So it's 28 deep, 35, almost 36 inches wide. So that's not going to fit into the back of your Toyota Corolla, but it'll fit in mostly any SUV, any kind of, I guess not hatchback, but crossover, any kind of wagon. And 2 of those, man. What amplifier would you recommend for one Solo X15? If you're going with the X, I mean, as of now, I would just grab a Warhorse, and just call at the end of the day. You could grab the LX 3000.1, but that's not going to be here for a little while. I don't know when that's coming out, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 of 2025. And either way, thank you so much, again, for tuning in, Joe Player, but I would just go with the WXA 3600.1. Cameron Cole with a $5 super chat. Would you look at that?
Would you look at that? Oh my gosh, just look at it. Just look at it. You got to look at it this way, okay? You just got to look at it. That's all you can do anymore.
Sometimes that's all you can do is just literally look at it. Thank you, Cameron Cole. I got my quad box finished now, and you're right. It is definitely massive. Oh, man. It's not the biggest box in the world, but it is big. Especially for the person that's going on there and they just want an enclosure that's loaded with woofers, man. It's the biggest one in the world on the website. Just loaded enclosures. Kicker's got that name, and they got that spot for number 1. But yes, the amplifiers, the WXA 3600.1 there, man, Joe. Right here, take a look at it, the Warhorse. This would be perfect for you. And just grab the Dual 2. grab the Dual 2 L7X so that you can run this at 1 ohm. It's unnecessary to run this 5,000 watt amplifier, actually 5,000 watts at half ohm on an L7X. You have to be super careful. Like, I will unload that speaker and make it launch. Even though it doesn't, jump the gap and everything, I could start breaking things if I'm not careful. So being at 1 ohm would be perfect on that. Grab the Dual 2 L7X if you didn't already, and appreciate you. But Cameron, thank you so much for both the super chats, getting the kicker kicking. For the guys that are new here, I know we got a few new people because we got 60 tonight. You guys are awesome. Every time anybody donates, super chats, does anything, $1, just pennies, it gets that kicker going, man. Appreciate you, Cameron, and thank you guys so much for tuning in. And of course, we got Miss Kibo. Thank you for tuning in. Would you look at that? Joe, at least 2,000 RMS, and yes, it would fit in the Volvo, and we're going to have to do some SPL tests with it in the Volvo. It would be perfect for that, Bobby. Robo Driller, would the dual Solo X be too much for a stereo system in the garage or house? Well, it depends how lenient your wife is. That's the only question that I would look at, because, it can never be too loud for your house, garage. Especially with a house, you're trying to fill up a larger airspace, so you might need a little bit more. I know there's some bass heads out there that bring it home, and I've been looking at a few different guys. They got like 18s just stacked everywhere in their room, like 360, doing 150s in their bedroom. So there's never too much bass in a stereo system. Now, to keep up with that bass with your mids and highs, the vocal ranges, and for everything to sound really good, you might have to add some more if you're running something that big. But is it ever too big? No, never too much. Thank you, Robo Driller. Appreciate you tuning in. And I know we got a few of you guys here. We still got 41 likes. Love you guys. Thank you so much, man. All right, cool. What are we at here? We're at 46 minutes. I don't need to keep you guys all night, but let's answer a few last questions, and I am going to, yep, cool. Okay, CJ assembled 3 Solo X boxes today, 1 dual M10, 2 single 12s. Would you look at that, man? I told you it's a good idea. People need them. People need them, Jake. They need them. All right, no recognition is needed. I got you. Thank you. Appreciate you, Cracker. And, little shout-outs. Tonight's show was awesome, man. Jacob, Carlos, you did great tonight, by the way. And it was just a good, fun show. Aaron back there throwing up the comments. He's great at it. Jeremy's like real particular. Aaron's like, yeah, you get a comment. You get a comment. I was like, this is fun. And just excellent job tonight, Ernie and Colin, that was actually doing work remotely. I think he might be still in SEMA picking up those grills. I'm not 100% sure. But either way, an awesome, amazing show tonight on the Unmasked show. Bubba, I support your addiction. Wait. What? Bubba's here. Hold on. We need to just restart the entire show. Bubba is here. Thank you for being here, Bubba. Thank you for getting my attention, Jake. Hello, everyone. And Bubba, man, I missed you, man. I missed you. I hope you're doing good. And prayers to your family, man. Glad you are here. He has put the controller down, and he is ready to get it kicking with a $2 super chat. Would you look at that? Oh, Bubba for the search party from the SDK. Wait, what? I can't. I'm getting confused here.
I got pennies.
There has been some financials, used for the search fund of Bubba, so he's just paying him back on one of them payment plans. I appreciate you, Bubba, and we have been searching for you. Those pennies have not been gone to waste because you are here today, and thank you so much for being here, and thank you for the pennies, Bubba, and thank you for all that you've done over the years. I mean, look, there's his name right there on the bottom of the corner, right there. 400. He gifted 400 memberships. He is the top gifter of memberships. And I know there's a few other guys that are catching up. You can see all your names on the bottom there if you've ever gifted a membership. And the top 3 super chatters on the other side there. Appreciate all your guys' support. And you guys make this show what it is. Was in Arizona for the last few days. It's acceptable. I'm letting it slide. I'm letting it slide, Bubba. I'm letting it slide. Bubba is here. Let's see. Can we get a close look at the LX controller? What? Okay, so I did bring that up, but I can bring it up again. That's why I like doing this show, because it's just kind of like off the cuff here. And let's see. Why is it not right there? Is it here? There it is. Okay, cool. Let's pull this up here real fast. And oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. So that's the LX amp controller right there. And it's not the best image. Okay, so I see amp, select, crossover type, crossover slope, phase, lo-fi, hi-fi, amp, or something. I'm not too sure. And then it looks like those are spinnable dials on the bottom. I think that means control, CLR. I'm not 100% on that. But either way, and it shows temperature. So that's needed. That is 1,000% needed. And man, you know, I'm excited about that because honestly, the KXA got me, you know, sold on the Kicker amps. I'm like, man, this thing is nice, it's strong, it does the job. But, you know, the show at SEMA was an awesome show of theirs. This guy almost looks like me. I'm like, wait a minute, did I go to SEMA? Did I go to SEMA? And of course, they show off the best display there. Swear to goodness. Awesome stuff. And then there's Jacob Lucky. But I think we'll end on that. I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. All 60 of you guys here, we're here tonight. We still got 50. And I love talking about L7X stuff. If you want to just talk about L7X stuff every single show, Tuesday and Friday, I will do it. Because there's so much to talk about with it, and it's the cool new stuff that I enjoy, and that's the part of the basshead community that I'm in, and I can't wait to see what else they got coming down the road, if you get what I'm saying. So appreciate you, Cracker. You guys are awesome. Long John Steve Irby and Long John Silver. I thought it said Long John Silver. Long live Kicker. Absolutely. Go Kicker. And Steve Irby is the man, and I consider a friend of mine, and you know, I look up to him, and I you know, just everybody at Kicker, the ones that I'm pretty close with, you know, on not a daily but a weekly basis. And I am honored to work with them, you know, you know, friends, family, whatever you want to call it. What we do here every Tuesday and Friday. It's a blessing. Thank you so much for watching. And kick the like. I like it. Kick the like. Oh my God, that's it. That is it. Kick the like. Hit the like, kick it, do whatever you got to do. We got 42 likes, 49 in here. If you're watching and you're not on a tablet, press like, or TV, should I say. Thank you so much for watching. And I would not put an L7X in the free air. But could it do it? Sure. Love you, Bobby. And as always, appreciate you watching. And stay living loud. I'll see you guys on the next one. No, we need the outro. There we go. Look at all the Patreons, the Green Team members. Those guys literally make the show keep on kicking, man.
Okay. So we're kicking it with Andy, right? You know what that means. We living loud.
we got that sensor on there, Bubba. Just a good thing we do. And I guess you can hit the like on the TV. I kind of forgot about that. Thank you, Cracker. Appreciate what you guys do in the background. Thank you guys for tuning in. 40 of you guys here still hanging out at the outro, waiting to steal the caboose. But I'm telling you, Baba and Cornut, they might be sniping tonight. Yeah, I think he was. I gotta show you guys something. And it's gonna be just in time for Friday. Just in time for Friday.
It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. Friday, getting down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. Partying, fun. Looking forward to the weekend.
Cornut's like, oh no, you threw off my timing. You threw it off because Cornut came in there with a $2 super chat. Appreciate you, man. And yeah, there it is. There it is, folks. I told you he was in the bushes just waiting. Love you guys and stay living loud. Thank you, CAE, for that awesome Friday outro. Awesome. Gotta play it again.
It's Friday, gotta